Hello and welcome back to the Spotlight Games podcast for episode 133. Today we have another Fantasy Critic check-in episode with the entire JKPKJ crew. It's been a while since we last checked in, so we got a ton of fun ahead for you today. Joining me as always to my immediate right, Cayman Darty, my sweet dumpster boy. How you doing, Cayman?
I am to your right, Patrick.
You are. I can touch you.
Honestly, when you said that, I was like, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. I'm to your left. That's not true. I am definitely to your right.
Rights, lefts. Well, I know to your right, the K in JKPKJ. Well, one of the Ks. We got two J's. We got two Ks. That's Kayla from the JK Games podcast. Kayla, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Ready to talk about farm games.
Yes.
But no, doing great. Excited to talk about games with you guys and cry about my downfall as I lose miserably.
Hey.
Your downfall or Todd Howard's downfall?
Good segue.
Why don't we ask Jerica, also from the JK Games podcast? Jerica, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Ready to talk about games also. So I'm glad we're all here to do this because it seems like the right place to do it.
Right place.
Amongst
right?
friends.
It's great. I can't wait to see. I'm going in blind here a little bit. I mean, I know what I've picked here, and I see the badges we got in store to maybe give ourselves. So
hey, we welcome blindness at this podcast.
It's good.
Accessibility.
We're inclusive here. I love it.
Yeah. Oh,
especially after that eclipse blinded half of your fan base, you gotta do what we can for the kids.
Exactly. It's all for the kids. All we do is for the kids. That voice you heard, that sultry tone that you heard. One Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips, back on the pod. Welcome back, Jordan. How are you?
Hey. Doing pretty good. Glad to be here again with all you fine folks. And just for the folks at home, little BTS. These kind-hearted souls. Waited like 12 extra minutes so I could help get the kids to bed before I hopped on. So there's some real ones.
If bath time wasn't what did it, I wonder what would make you start a show by saying not glad to be here. Very upset to be here.
Not very demure, not very mindful.
Exactly. Let's think about that.
Don't feel bad because I was late. And it was only because I was eating some hummus. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. I had to eat something though.
I was taking care of kids. You were taking care of you. Equally valid.
Gosh, always in here to make me feel better about myself. Thanks,
Mr.
Jordan.
Positivity. Come on.
I need you to hang out with me all day.
We do have a lot of video game stuff to talk about because this is the Spotlight Games podcast where each week we spotlight the latest and the greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Spotlight Games Pod or by searching for Spotlight Games in your favorite podcast app. And hey, you can be on the show by tuning in as we record live, normally Tuesdays, today, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on twitch.tv/Spotlight Games Pod. So be sure to follow us there so that you're notified when we go live so you can be part of the conversation. The good news is we're not only streaming on twitch.tv/Spotlight Games Pod, we're also streaming on twitch.tv/JK Games Podcast.
Let's go.
I don't want to necessarily assume, but I see a Coleman in the chat. I feel like that might be from JK Games because it's not a name I recognize.
That would be my brother of JK Games in the chat.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Family. We love family here.
Family.
We have a fun show.
As Vin Diesel would say, family.
Yes. Just in that exact voice. We could do housekeeping. We could talk about other streams. We could talk about the Discord, but the whole family's here. We're here to talk about the Fantasy Critic League. But before we do that, I do want to extend the offer for the three of you lovely guests. We're going to go around the horn real quick. Let's start with Kayla. Where are you from? In case they don't know, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your pod, and then we'll circle back.
Wow, what a lovely invitation to talk about me. I love to talk about me. So we are from JK Games Podcast. We have met these lovely people through the podcast community, through the Kind of Funny community. We love making podcast friends. We talk about on our show lots of different things. We ramble on about The Last of Us a lot, which we have a whole separate podcast for if you're interested. Clickerbait is another podcast that we we have on all platforms wherever you can find podcasts. Our social media is the same though. It is at JK Games Podcast. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on X/Twitter. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us on YouTube. But yeah, that's a little bit about us. I also really am into books. If you're interested in that, I also do a series where I compare books to video games. If that's your thing, that is Palettes and Pages is where you can find me with that. So that's a little bit about me.
Jerica, I know she probably just stole like half the things that you
Thank
would
God.
say, but tell us a little bit
I
about
love her
yourself and
so
anything
much
else
for
that you'd
that.
like to say.
I also like video games.
Let's go.
Wow.
And I
perfect.
love to not read. So Kayla is a good influence on the rest of humanity except me. But I'll actually take that back. She has gotten me onto something else, and it's not reading, unfortunately. Maybe one day, Kayla, you might be able to convince me to read a book. But I'm into anime now.
Whoa.
Oh my
hell
God.
She's a
yeah,
weeb.
brother.
She's a weeb.
I'm
Let's
all
go.
in. I cannot stop watching. We're binging Attack on Titan right now.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, I just finished my binge on Attack on Titan.
Oh, really?
Ooh, are we about to pivot?
That's
Literally
what-
just finished like 2 weeks ago. It's great.
Oh man,
I
it's
think
the
we're
best
about to
thing ever.
pivot.
Lord,
best thing ever.
I can't wait. I'm part 2 of the last season. That's where I'm at right now.
Hell yeah. Jerica, I won't put you on the spot here.
Okay.
But next time we record together, I would like to hear your top 5 waifus.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
so
Levi
ready.
Ackerman.
Let's circle back for that. And then last but not least, Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips. According to Coleman in the chat, looks like you're in the back rooms low key. I don't really know what that means, but I'm gonna hope it's a positive thing.
It's
But
a
Jordan,
little
tell us about
space
it.
Not a
in the
bus.
cognitive house.
He is Gen Z, so who knows really? You know?
True.
Who knows what these?
Oh, it's me. I'm in the back rooms.
Kids.
Yeah,
You
I
are.
think I have like this the blur setting.
Mm,
You know,
sure.
It's where we're at.
Very inclusive
And,
here.
your brother just doxed me, so thanks for that. I'm just in a warehouse somewhere finding shoe sizes or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips. You can find me on Threads, Instagram, YouTube, youtube.com/@cognitive-clips.
Nice.
Love doing video essay type of content. Occasionally do some just straight gameplay as well. But yeah, kind of like what Kayla was saying, found all these fine folks snaking from like kind of funny to JK, and then from JK to Spotlight, and now here we are.
Boom. And look at us, all of us together.
Look at you.
Look at it.
the
Look at
power of
you.
love and positivity.
Jordan, who
Alright.
did you
Who
know
was that?
first? I forget. Did you know us first or did you know them first?
You all, JK.
Forget. Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was Jerica on Kind of Funny, and then it was
Yeah.
me in the JK chat, and then it was you on Spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that so much.
yeah. Here
And
we go.
now-
You can have him back anytime.
JKPJ.
Ah.
It's like a child. We're pulling back and forth.
True. Divorce, I tell you what. At our previous check-in episode, each of us recapped what had been happening with our team since the draft, who we added, who we dropped, all that nonsense. Today, we're going to switch things up a little bit, make the show, in my opinion, a little more fun. We have a set of badges that I'm about to go through. That's badges with a B. That we, mostly me and Jordan, but this is a team effort here that we all thought of. And we're going to assign badges with a B throughout the
Hold on.
episodes.
No,
Yes, what's
no. We're not going any further
Yeah, what's
until
up,
you
Cam?
fucking explain yourself. What other word that ends with adges
What
has
do
a
you
letter
came in?
that's not B?
Cayman, you of all people.
Yeah, you among us.
Not doing it. Not saying it.
Okay. So today,
But did you-
like
but did
I
you
said,
find the
Fucking
answer,
hate
though?
you, Patrick.
I feel attacked in my own home. Either way, we're going to be able to give these badges with a B to either our own games or games for the competition. So, we're going to pass it around the horn. Each of us are going to go through the badge with a B, and it's going to be fluid.
Yeah.
It's going to be fluid. We love fluid.
You know what? No. Going forward, these aren't badges. These are badges. And you're going to
Nice.
say it the right way.
Cayman!
In the presence of the ladies of JK.
Goodness gracious. Goodness
Oh, come on.
gracious.
Don't act like you wouldn't have said it.
All right.
Well, I was
thinking
actually
of a design.
I misunderstood the assignment. I was looking at my favorite badgers to like a honey badger was going to be this pick, but I need to rework my entire shtick here. So
That's okay. That's okay.
Family friendly.
Right. We're saying fully PG with all the curse words that we'd like on this podcast. So these are the badges. We have how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 badges, but hey, we're open to adding new ones. But if you're in the chat, you think of a badge in the middle of the show, but type it in. Let's consider it. First one, Called It. The game you feel like people underestimated or didn't know much about, but ended up doing well. We also have the Fumblerooski badge, a game you had high hopes for, but they dropped the ball, whether critically and or in your own opinion. We have my personal favorite, the Save Me Daddy badge. What's the game on your team that's still not out that you have all eyes on for the rest of the year to be your points juggernaut? It's going to be tough for Cayman because he's already got all of his points, basically. Following that up, we have the Thanks for Nothing badge, a game you drafted or picked up that got delayed or otherwise won't be coming in 2024. We got the Gimme That badge, a game on someone else's team that you really wish was on your own, whether you made a bid for it or not. It just could be pie in the sky thinking, or if you have a personal experience like I might have, that someone outbid you for a game that you wanted. And then finally, the DTF badge. This is a game that you can't wait to play, could be on your own team or someone else's. Extra respect if it's actually down to farm, a cozy or farming game. So those are the 6 badges that we're working with. Any questions or things that I can clarify for these badges before we jump right in?
I feel like I am excited to give all the badges to myself. Let's
go. Well, then let's start it off with the first badge, the Called It badge. And Cayman, if you would so honor me, if we could start with you for your first Called It badge.
I'm struggling with all the games I've got. On which one that would be. I think though I have to go with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. It was like my last pick in the draft, I think, or close to it. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going weird. I'm just throwing all my luck behind the best boy, Kasuga. And guess what?
If 20 points, come on.
It fucking paid off. So, just saying. Feeling good.
That was one, I will say, when you drafted it, because that was, I think, your second to last pick of the draft. I was like, you know what? This feels like a good late draft pick. Probably going to get you a good, 10 points. Joke's on me.
Sure. Yeah, I don't have anything less than, I think, 12 points.
Joke's on all of us.
Yeah, joke's truly on all of us. Is on all of us. Kayla, what about you? What's your Called It badge?
Well, so you may notice if we show that app.
Oh no!
And again, Kayla, this could be one that you give to someone else if you so please.
I didn't realize how bad it actually was.
As you can see,
let me give a quick scroll just to see that total pointage.
Thank you.
I don't have a game with less points than your total score.
This is how we learn. This is a learning opportunity, and so you get unlucky. I feel like Kayla.
I surely did, and we'll go into that later with the rest of the badges. We'll definitely touch on a couple of things, but I think where I truly shined was I really went with my heart here. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I really led with my heart. My goal was to be like, hey, let me find some games that maybe they don't know about, let me share some love, if you will. I think the only game where I got 10 points on 2, which,
you got 10 on 3, just 1 was negative.
We'll talk about that later. I had hope, and I think that I forget who counterpicked me, but on Banishers Ghost of Eden it could have gone either way, truly, and I really enjoyed that game personally as well. So I think I'm gonna pick Banishers Ghost of New Eden. It could have gone really bad like the rest, but it actually got me some positive. So we'll do that one.
I love that. Jerica, let's move to your team. I can't think straight. What are you most proud of?
It wasn't
besides
enough
the team name.
Yes. I have to say Destiny 2, The Final Shape.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's the one that's given me the most points so far. I think it will be beaten by a couple of picks on here. But so far, it has been my heavy hitter. I've unfortunately, a lot of people doubted Bungie. And even
I
to
know I
this
did.
day, they're still getting doubted for obvious reasons. But, at least this last bookend to a 10-year-long story definitely hit in all the right places. It was fun to play. The story was awesome. I didn't know how they were going to wrap up a few things, but it was very cohesive and a good ending to that story. Even with it being such a success, is another story for another time. Didn't seem like it was enough, which is sad to see. But man, what a great game. I spent my whole first part of the year playing Destiny, and it ended with this. So
it does seem like, as someone who never really ever played Destiny, it does seem like it was like it was all worth it. Like,
yes,
from what it sounds like, the Final Shape seemed to be the best conclusion, which is awesome.
It was very good.
It's just such a shame. It's such a shame. I feel so sad for that studio. I'm not trying to take this on a negative way, but it was such a. It's just, you don't really see a game ending a 10-year long story live service game doing what they did.
Yeah.
So it bums me out because the game was a success and got a lot more people into it that maybe been away for a while. I've saw a lot of people streaming it that hasn't touched it in a while. So man, what a good time. And also made me almost want to die.
Oh.
Just because I'm in a good way. Because I couldn't, in fact, I couldn't put it down.
It is all a spectrum. Jordan, let's bop over to your team. Those sons of glitches. What's your called it?
My called it has got to be Animal Well. I was pretty surprised that when I drafted it, I don't feel like any of you had really heard of it at the time.
I hadn't. I know I hadn't.
Yeah. And boy, that is one of the front runners for my personal game of the year so far. It was so much fun. I got the platinum trophy. I got 100% trophies on Steam. A lot of hours into that game, and it's when you speed run it, it can be done in 3 or 4 hours, but I have 25, 30 hours total between both systems on it. So
sure.
Yeah, that was definitely and it's my highest scoring, so kind of fits, both kind of aspects of the criteria. You all hadn't really heard of it, and it scored the highest of my.
That's true. That is a true called it. That is
true.
Called
I would
it.
also add a badge for most likely to cause moist dreams. I would add that one in there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
There might be a better name for the badge, but that's where I went.
Funnily enough, I don't think there is a better name for the badge. I think that is the name
for the badge.
The moist
badge.
B or
B. B. B is in badge. Okay, I will close this out here on Called It. This one, I was looking through my team, and I feel like it's got to be Hades because also that one was counterpicked by one Kayla. But then there's also controversy around that originally the points weren't counting, and then they counted. It was a whole thing.
I want to go to court.
Sure, I would be happy to.
The trial of Patrick Schwaggart.
I mean, we've already put Cayman on trial on this podcast.
That is true.
I can't help but wonder, though. I can't help but wonder if we were to do this badge with the B system at the end of the year, if my called it would be one of these games that hasn't quite come out yet, like a Silent Hill 2. I don't know. I don't feel super great about that game, but even I could be surprised. Who's to say?
This
preview
I think from the other day is getting pretty good reception, I feel like.
That is true. That when I looked at those previews, I was like, ooh, a good thing about the game. That is exciting because there were some not so great things when it was kind of first getting previews, that there were some concerns. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so that closes out the first badge, the Called It. Now we're going to Fumblerooski. This is the badge for a game you had high hopes for, but they dropped the ball, whether critically or in your own opinion. So it could just be like a game that disappointed you, but also like still scored well, or a game that you expected a lot more points for, and we didn't get them. I'm going to start us out for this one, and because the screen share is already right there on my team, and I feel like No Rest for the Wicked is the obvious choice because it only scored me 3 points. But I kind of feel more strongly about Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail only scoring 11. When we were doing this draft, that was my final pick of the actual draft. Everything after that is what I added. And friend of the show, Jacob Askren, biggest Final Fantasy XIV fan I know, was like, hey, he gave me the hot tip. He was like, Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, probably going to be great. Historically, for the most part, they're all very good. I was like, great. And then I started reading more into it, like the lead up to release. And I was like, oh, I think I maybe misunderstood him a little bit. I think what he was saying was the last one was really, really good because it was like the last big one. And this one is the beginning of like a whole new situation. This is like Dawn Trail, new area, new everything, new characters. And so a lot more risky, I think. When in hindsight, I didn't realize that. I think that this was my fault of misunderstanding what Jacob was saying. Because I expected this to score like 20, 22 points because historically the Final Fantasy XIV stuff reviews really well. So I was a little disappointed that this one only got me 11.
You need new friends, Patrick.
That upsets me. You're upset about your 11. 11 is my total score.
It does feel rude of me, doesn't it?
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace. R.I.P. in peace.
Chat.
Well, Kayla, let's send it over to you now. Since I've embarrassed myself, what's your Fumblerooski? And you can't say my whole team.
I won't. I do feel like there were some harsh critics when it comes to some of these games. Okay, so but where my true Fumblerooski I feel like lies is Little Kitty Big City.
I'm sorry, what?
But not in my regard. But in the critics' regard, I only got 7 points.
That does
You're telling me
the critics fucked up.
Yeah,
they did. Yes, yeah. I loved this game. I don't understand how any game with a little kitty conquering its fears in the big city can get anything less than 10 points. So
I agree with that.
And now let me
having rolled credits twice. I can see a lot of reasons why, but go ahead. Sorry.
Now, whether or not it's the most perfect or innovative game, no, it's perfect. Not. Stray, much better cat game in my opinion. However, I did think it deserved a little bit more, and I'm surprised it didn't do better. Also,
I feel like 80 would have been fair for this game.
Yeah, especially like I just feel like it's very cute. Also, another really quick, like if I had to give an honorable mention for this one, it would be Blood. Hashtag Blood, because I think conceptually it looked really cool. I actually haven't played this one yet, but I still plan to. But 72, definitely fumbled the bag with that one.
Well, that one, I played a demo for that one during Steam Next Fest, and like vibe wise, immaculate, like S tier vibes. But the actual gameplay was a bit kind of rough, and some of the performance was a little rough. So I granted this was like a month before it came out, but I was concerned that maybe a month isn't enough time to really kind of clean up those edges per se. But it does sound like it's the kind of thing where if they can get a follow-up, it seems like hashtag Blood 2 would jump considerably in its score whenever that comes around.
So it could be an honest actual Fumblerooski from the game point. So hard to say for me personally, but sure. I've heard that as well.
Cayman, if one exists, what is your Fumblerooski?
That's a great question. Oh man, I don't know. Part of me wants to give the Fumblerooski to the football game, just as a bit.
Cute
I
Layers.
don't know. Truth is, it was like coming in 82 score 82. It's fine. I think the thing is like it was the first game back in this series. I should have known better than like to kind of put in expecting to get more. I think 82 is a solid, So I think if I'm looking at the true Fumblerooski here, I'm going with Dragon's Dogma 2. That I think critics fucked up.
Yeah.
I think that game is easily a 20 or higher in terms of total points.
Especially with the way that the conversation around the game was in the gaming community at large. It seemed like 80. It doesn't seem like people talked about it like it was an 87. It seemed people talked about it like it was a 90, 92 for sure.
Right. And so that's why I'm like, yeah, I think someone fucked up. It was all the people out there that were like, they were just like angry about the mechanics.
Yeah.
Even though the mechanics were built a certain way. But then people don't say that about Souls games. Like, no one complains that Souls games are dumb as shit.
Hey,
You know? Just
true.
saying.
It's true. I don't think a single person complains about that, especially not on this podcast. Jericho, what about you? What do you feel like is a Fumblerooski for you?
Princess Peach Showtime. I thought I was in the clear picking a Nintendo game, but I guess I was incorrect. Which, it didn't score horribly, but I'm used to, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of the mainline, any of the folks that's a part of Mario's world, it's probably going to lean towards 80, mid 80s, maybe even 90s, depending on what game it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what did I've never played Luigi's Mansion. I feel like this is like the closest thing to that, even though it's two different types of games. I wonder what
that one has a 78 on OpenCritic.
Okay, so I should have known better. That was probably that was me. That was this is truly deserving of this badge.
I do kind of feel like historically the assumption is true, because I remember actually when we were drafting, Kayla specifically said that about Donkey Kong versus Mario, or Mario versus whatever it's called. But I feel like the last few years there has become like a mid-tier.
There's definitely not a bench. They're not sitting down. They're still up and trying to play. But maybe some of the, like, for this game, because I never played it, but I watched somebody play, and it was performing so bad. Like, it was struggling, and it just looked like maybe it'd be a perfect game for a kid.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I bet a kid would love a 75.
Yes.
I also, did you say you never played Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, I've never played. I've seen it, but I've never personally played any of the games.
I haven't either. The Jays are in
the Jays.
In unison.
Jays are in the doghouse. Jericho, how do you feel about spooky games?
Love them. Big fan.
Because it sounds like a misleading question, because they're not super spooky. They're spooky in like a fun, childish, cutesy way. Yeah. But like, I love the games. I have been having a blast with Luigi's Mansion 2. It could be a fun, spooky stream game.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Potentially.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Well, we're right here. Cognitive Clips, right under I Can't Think Straight, Sons of Glitches. Jordan, do you feel like you have a Fumblerooski?
Do I, Patrick? Yeah. So if I'm going by Cayman's criteria, as far as the critics just being idiots and not wanting to just embrace what the game is actually going for versus what you wished it was before you jumped into it, the fumble was going to go to Senua Saga, because I adored that game. It's incredible. I feel like people expected, through all these expectations on it that weren't ever given to us by the devs. The devs only ever said, like, hey, it's going to be about maybe an 8 to 10 hour game. Hey, it's, we're looking to build on what we've done before with the technology for the motion capture and for, just the auditory, the visual, all these things. And they knocked all that out of the park. So as far as what they were trying to do, like A++, S tier, whatever you want to call it. But, it wasn't long enough, and they didn't add enough new things from the first game, which again, I can see an argument for that, but they never really gave us that expectation to let us down in that regard. So as far as critically, I'd say they fumbled that one. But when it comes to my own expectations being let down, Tales of Kinzera.
Sure.
I wanted to love that game.
Me too.
It really does have beautiful themes. The visuals are still really cool. The music's great, all that stuff. But man, the game itself is just a chore to get through, and a lot of jank, not in the sense that it doesn't run well, but just in the sense of just the game mechanics themselves don't flow very well for what they're trying to go for. A lot of
synergy.
Yes.
A whole lot of
Yeah.
jank.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what you think, Jordan, about something that you said about Senua Saga got me thinking from the Xbox perspective. And I wonder if part of that trap that you kind of think that reviewers fell into, I kind of feel like maybe that's in a roundabout way like Xbox's fault. And what I mean by that is, one, they kind of didn't do a very good job of marketing the game. In fact, like they kind of weren't marketing the game at all, which kind of let
Yeah, it was
the consumer start like kind of forming their own opinions because we weren't necessarily being told what to think. And then also I kind of feel like because like, at the beginning of the show, we were talking about how we're all big kind of funny fans here. Tim's always talking about the dominoes falling. There was this kind of like narrative built around Senua Saga being like one of the dominoes to fall for Xbox. It's like once we get Senua Saga 2, everything's going to start clicking for Xbox. And I feel like there was just a lot of pressure put on the game. Would you agree with that?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
don't think
do.
you're
I do.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you have a chance to play it, Jerica? I can't remember if we've ever talked about that.
I probably played the first hour or so because I just was so itching. Like I remember that when the first trailer came out, and I just wanted to play. And that was they like showed off the game or announced it like 4 or 5 years ago. Like
they announced it when they announced
way
Series
too
X.
early, way too early, way too early. But it was a kick-ass trailer. It's one of my favorite announcement trailers ever.
It is a really good trailer,
and it gets you so hyped for like where that story can go. And I do think, in my opinion, too early, and then not enough focus at all, like leading up to launch. It's almost like I literally was like, why do I not care about this game? Because I really cared about it 4 years ago when I saw that trailer.
Yeah,
but why don't I care about
weird.
it now? It's very strange. I think we just didn't get enough hands-on with it, and yeah, I think them not talking about it at all just really, we all created our own expectations with that.
Yeah. Because I mean, Cayman, you might remember at the end of last year, we were kind of throwing around this idea, like what could be game of the year. And I threw out Hellblade 2 as an option of like, that was, it was kind of a dart throw, but I just, something about it, just, I think a lot of it was like that first trailer, like you mentioned, Jerica. And just this, I guess, expectation that there would have been like a bigger jump, which I think is unfair because I think it was a big jump from the first game. But
well, okay, I think the thing is here is you got to remember, if there's going to be a bag that's going to be fumbled, you better believe it will be Microsoft.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Like I don't think they've successfully done anything else. I mean, they're starting to release better games, but like every time they release a game, even if the game's really good, they just fuck it up by like not talking about it. Like Hi-Fi Rush, they just didn't say anything about the game, and then they closed the studio. Like,
yeah,
and
like in case anyone listening thinks that we may be exaggerating a little bit, no, like I swear the actual now, if you follow Ninja Theory, right? Ninja Theory,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's like so many devs with Ninja in the title, but if you follow their account, yeah, they were talking about it a lot. They were talking about, they were introducing characters and like the month leading up to it, all this kind of stuff, showing a little bit behind the scenes. But if you follow only just Xbox, socials, they legitimately did not start pushing for this game until like 7 or 8 days before release.
Yeah.
And everyone,
which makes everybody else think, oh, this game might not be great.
Exactly.
It's like that they're separating themselves away from it. Like it was just it was so strange. The game's not, in my opinion, I know I only play like an hour. It's definitely something I want to finish.
Have we entertained the idea that they might have done that just to say, fuck you, Jordan? They were like, you know what? This guy out there in Indiana, we just want him to see him fail in his fantasy league.
Damn, speaking of doxing, jeez.
Oh, shit.
Just drop the address, too.
Oh, no.
Just
the
kidding.
liminal spaces in Indiana.
Before we jump to the next badge, I've been doing a piss poor job of talking about the chat. We've been getting all sorts of chats. In fact, we have a gifted sub from Aravi. Aravi, thanks for being here. We have a first-time chat from Game Over Cholo. He says, hola, my fantasy critic was decided early on. This friend got 119 points. I only got 61 for believing in Silksong and Outlaws. The rest are worse, like 30 to 40 points. We only choose 6 games, by the way. I feel your pain, brother. I have Silksong on my team. It hurts. It hurts. We also got the handsome can I just say the handsome GWT Maury in the chat, who
Maury!
yesterday was the #1 Concord streamer right here on Twitch. How about that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. He says a lot of sweet things. And then JK Games gifting a tier 1 sub to GWT Maury. It's a family affair. Thanks for being here, y'all. And then we also have Danomac.
Dan, what's up, buddy? Hey,
let's go. We
Good
got
to
all
see you,
sorts
man.
of first time.
So much
things
love in
happening
the chat.
Much-
yes,
I
I
feel
love
it.
it, man.
there. Do you feel it? I feel it.
You guys make me sick.
Yeah, go follow Dan's stuff on YouTube as well. He puts up some really good content.
Ooh,
yeah,
fun.
so-
Hell
Can
yeah.
confirm. Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you. All right, next up we have the Save Me Daddy badge.
Graphic is too much. I can't.
I don't think I've said
I
this yet.
forgot
Shout
to
out to Jordan
apologize.
for all
Yeah.
the graphics.
That's
for this.
good. I
He
love
did
that.
Yeah. You missed
Very,
your
very good.
path as a graphic designer. Truly.
It's
I
my
also can't tell if they're like really wanting that snack, but they can't have the snack. You know?
That's what this
Oh sure.
award
I
is
mean,
for. I
snack
guess.
with 2 C's.
Ooh.
Mhm.
You get it. You get me, Jordan. Let's start us off because you're the one that made this amazing graphic.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to apologize in advance for that one. It caught me off
No.
guard.
Me too. All the other ones were kind of subtle, until this.
And this is the Save Me Daddy badge with a B. Jordan, I kick it to you.
Come on. You gonna pull up my team or just gonna?
You got to raw dog it, brother.
Oh,
Maybe I'm
You
working
should
on
know.
it. Maybe
You should know.
maybe trust me, Jordan. Maybe start talking and I'll click the fucking button.
Well, I didn't really notice it until I was going through and trying to pick out the badges with the B here. I only have 3 more games to come out. Everybody else has like
Ooh.
5, 6 games, and I'm like, I don't think I'm holding on to second place for much longer, y'all. So of these 3, I mean, like, I think that Metaphor ReFantasio, Life is Strange Double Exposure, and Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake, I think all 3 of those have a good chance of getting some points on the board. But the Save Me Daddy is going to go to Metaphor ReFantasio. I think that probably has the best chance, just considering Atlas's track record with the Persona games and all that, especially with Remake coming out this year.
Yeah.
Persona 3 Reloaded?
Reload.
Right? Yeah,
Just reload.
Reload.
Or present tense reload.
Interesting. Bold choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Persona 3 Reload getting really good points this year. I think it may have come out before our draft, so nobody had a chance to actually pick it up. But I think of those 3, that probably has the best chance of getting it, with a close second being the Dragon Quest 3 remake. But
Not to get ahead of myself, but Metaphor ReFantasio is a game that you outbid me for, Jordan. And this is a game that I do think, like this, I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of the highest scoring games of the year. Just because it's Atlas, it's a new IP, like they kind of have a clean slate with this, and they historically make really fucking good games.
yeah.
So we'll see.
And I have to say, because I felt bad for Jerica, because Final Shape coming out, it almost had like a Horizon series moment where we were all like, oh, dang, she has the highest scoring game in the whole league. And then a week later, Erdtree drops and becomes the highest scoring DLC of all time.
Of course.
Very, very Aloy of you to have that.
Well, speaking of Jerica, let's kick it to you, Jerica. What's your Save Me Daddy? I need to stop saying it like that.
I really I love it.
Every time you must say it like that.
Yeah, you have to. It's required.
I was not ready for this.
All right, I'm going to triple down moving forward.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be great. I definitely think Astrobot is gonna be the highest scoring game I have on my list. That's gonna come out. I think, I don't know if the free Playroom, the free game, did it get reviewed? I don't know if it did, but I know like the
I would think
Rescue
so.
Mission, the VR game, did score really high. I know it
Really
was somewhere in the 90s.
Mhm.
So just with Astro having its own little world now to run amok and get more of the, I loved Playground so much. Like I still go back and play around in that world just because it looks so great and the puzzles are awesome. I love the VR game too. Like it is an incredible platformer.
Gordon
And
with
I'm in such a mood for this game right now. Like I want it so bad. I want it.
Yeah.
I want it. Save me.
Save me, daddy.
Oh.
I
want it.
Astro's Playroom had an 84 on Open Critic, by the way.
Okay.
So it did get reviewed, and it reviewed well. So,
and man, the previews for Astrobot, people are
looks so
so
good.
high on it. Like
Looks
people
so
saying that it feels like Mario Odyssey level of a 3D platform. I think.
my
I
God.
think it's so exciting.
that was not where they're going to go with that sentence after all your moaning for the past 5 minutes. It feels like
Inglat me, Papa. You know, have you seen that video?
what?
No, but I love
like-
that we're going bilingual. Continue.
Like, I think that's slap me, daddy, in Dutch. I could be wrong.
Whoa.
It's another language. Inglat me, Papa. I saw like a TikTok video.
Somebody in the chat said, "Save me, save Jerica, father."
Oh man, that's hilarious. Game Over Trollo also in the chat says, if Silk Song gets confirmed 2025, I'll grab Astro. If you can grab Astro right now, grab Astro right now.
Mhm,
Again,
mhm.
grab Astro.
In fact,
Yes.
I would look. I'm not a professional, but I would rather have Astro on my league or my team than Silk Song. As someone who has Silk Song on his team,
Why? Because it's actually going to come out this year, or at all?
there's that. But I bet if Silk Song comes out, I think Astrobot scores higher than Silk Song personally.
Fair.
Okay.
That's a Patty special for you.
That's
Patty
Patty
special.
Cayman.
Yeah. Skip me.
Okay.
Why? What game do I need to save?
He doesn't
me?
need to be saved.
don't need
I
to
would
be
like
sa-
for you to think
you-
of it,
It's
of
sorta
it from our
true.
perspective. What
Oh, okay.
game could tear you down so much that one of us has a chance to save
Oh,
us, Daddy?
Okay, so you want me to reverse this and see which game saves all of you?
yes,
Totally
yes.
fair. I think I hate to say it. I think honestly, the most realistic game in here that might fail is either going to be Mario and Luigi, which I don't think so, but that's a risky move. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think, is the one that could fuck me really hard.
Yeah, if the hype
Daddy.
is not real and it comes out as like a
Mhm.
72.
I don't know. I think they spent a lot of time on this one. I think you're safe.
Well,
Let me float an idea to the group.
But it is Ubisoft, so I don't.
It is.
You never know.
Well,
That
that's
is true.
so I think the catch here is like Mario and Luigi is one of those where like it could score really fucking high, or it can be like a Princess Peach Showtime.
Sure.
You know, like
And,
we don't
yeah.
know which Nintendo we're gonna get here.
And
True.
Jericho,
Though-
to your point, I know that
Yeah.
I know a little bit of French, as we discussed during the Sea of Stars episode. So like a lot of people
yeah.
don't realize that Ubisoft, it's French for Microsoft. So you know,
Ah.
if anybody's going to fumble anything, that's not Microsoft.
That's what you sound, although you look like when you speak French.
Fucking ease.
Yeah, there you go. My question is there a world in which Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater comes out and hurts Cayman? Like, do we think if it comes out, do we think it could score enough to actually take meaningful points from him?
One not gonna come out.
Let's live in a world that it does.
If it comes out, you might get me by like 11 points. You might
Okay.
drop me 11 points.
Okay.
I don't think that game's gonna get higher than an 11.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'll probably get positive points for Patrick and some negative for Cayman. Again, assuming it comes out. But yeah, I was gonna say like an 80, so a minus 10.
Yeah, I'm about there too.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if anyone had just like this feeling that it's going to be like a 90.
No.
No.
I'm just
It's not gonna look. It's not gonna save you, Patrick. That's what we're saying.
I mean, that's not going to be my choice. But before we hear mine, let's kick it over to Kayla. Kayla, what's going to be yours? Save me, Daddy.
Well,
You guys asked me to.
I did.
So let's see. Well, in a perfect world, if we were being Delulu, which I am, I would love to say that Star Wars Outlaws would save me, but I just don't know. I'm concerned. If you would have asked me a few months ago, I might have said yes, like confidently, like I think this could save me. But now I'm just not. I'm not 100% confident. How does everyone else feel about that?
I might be
the
shocked.
opposite, actually.
Yeah,
You
I will be
are?
shocked
Okay.
if that's not your highest game by at least 5
You think
points.
so?
A few months ago, I was like very on the fence, but once they started showing more previews and they were like getting press in there to actually discuss the previews, I'm actually pretty excited for it. I don't know about day one just because, like budgeting and whatever else, life stuff, but I'm excited for it.
I'm happy to report. I think you're going to get more than 45 points.
Oh, wow.
Total, collectively, 45 points, maybe.
I do think that this might land in like the 88, 87 range.
Yeah.
How much will that do for me?
That'd be 17, 18-ish.
I personally, I think that I will enjoy the game. My concern lies in how I feel like it might rate, but we'll see.
Gotcha.
My other option is Lego Horizon Adventures. I think I don't know how I could lose there. Really, I don't know. We'll see. I
think that and Neva will both score well as well. I would expect those to both get in like the 15-ish range too.
Yeah. Thankfully, I have a lot on the docket. Personally, I hope that my Fantastic Haven Creature Collector game scores me 15 points, but we'll see.
Speaking of tripling down on something, you and the farming games, I respect it.
I was just going to quickly say something that I keep meaning to bring up every time I see a couple of y'all's teams. Like for you, Kayla, Little Nightmares 3, you can drop that and get a new game because it's been pushed to next year. And then I think, Jerica, you have one or two of them, I think.
I've lost. Yeah, I realized I could do that, but then I keep forgetting and I'm just hurting myself so much. I had another one, Bite the Dust, replaced, unfortunately, which would have been one of my highest scoring games, I believe. I think that's going to be a really special game when it comes out. I'll try and pick it next year.
I would like to note in the chat, I'm being roasted actually right now by Robbie saying, Kayla, your fantasy list is not a wish list.
That is brutal.
Rude. Disrespectful.
Can we talk
about
that?
Delulu together, okay? Let us live. That's really.
Does he need a timeout? Not a block, but does he need a timeout?
Maybe. All right, I'm gonna close this out for Save Me, Daddy.
Nice.
I figured that's the last one, so I had to give it a little zhuzh. I feel like I'm probably gonna get banned. Wouldn't be the first time this week.
Again,
Wow, impressive.
I kind of I think it's Game Over Cholo, maybe. I forget who in the chat also had Silk Song on their team. I'm not confident that
no.
I just Avowed was officially pushed, so I was like, I'm just gonna move on to try maybe Silk Song does actually come out. So I'm putting my chips behind Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I think that of the games that I have left, because like we just said with Metal Gear, I don't think so. Silent Hill, I'm hoping for like a 10, but when I picked it, I was a lot higher on it. That was before the original kind of thoughts started coming out. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can get somewhere in the like 18 range with Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I don't expect that it'll get above a 90, but I would love to be surprised. But I'm not necessarily expecting that. Frostpunk 2, I just don't know. That's kind of a Hail Mary for me.
I'm excited for that one, though.
So maybe that's the one that saves me, but I'm not confident enough in it to say it. So I'm going to go Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom for me.
Cannot wait for that one.
Me too. It's like top 2 most anticipated for me at the moment. Okay. Next badge is the Thanks for Nothing badge. This is a game that you drafted or picked up that got delayed or otherwise won't be coming in 2024. Jordan, my eyes went to you first, so let's start with you. And if you'll give me 2.5 seconds, I'll pull your team up.
Diva era.
I am a diva. All right, Thanks for Nothing. What you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give. I'll be clear. I will give this badge to this game literally for the delay, not because I don't expect great things. Metroid Prime 4. I sat here on this podcast twice. Probably 3 times. There's probably a third time in there somewhere that was just like, me.
Keep digging your Metroid hole over there, brother.
I will. It goes deep, brother. And I just kept talking it up about not only coming out this year, but also, saving me. And it
say the whole thing.
say the whole word next time. Oh dear. It finally got revealed, like officially re-revealed, and I think it looks fantastic, especially as just a longtime fan of the series. And then it was like 2025, and I was like, awesome. So that's just
That was the
another,
highlight of my year so far.
getting delayed.
Yeah, man. The reaction when that happened was like the funniest thing in Discord. You were so broken, and we all just
Troll.
dogpiled on you.
Yeah, we had to send the
Troll.
car out to make
We
sure
didn't
things
bring
happened.
you. We didn't pick you up. We didn't lift you up. We
No.
just made fun
Stomped
of you.
on ya.
Yeah.
That's why I have a therapist. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We talked about it. I'm better now. But yeah, I'm still so
Don't worry.
excited.
We got people in the audience that have a therapist just because Silk Song hasn't released yet.
Oof, that's true. Where
Don't
is John?
worry.
As you
today?
should.
Yeah.
Support group.
Well, it's needed. Yeah, you're not alone. So yeah, that's where it's got to be. I'm still very excited by what they showed, and can't wait to see more for it. But that could have gotten me, Again, I don't know if anybody could have beat Cayman from our lackluster picks here, but it could
Not
have
with
got
that
me.
attitude.
You know what? I'm happy that you're happy that the game's coming out next year.
Oh, thanks, bud.
But this is my year, motherfucker.
It really is. It really is.
Yes, Daddy.
I'm gonna kick off my thanks for nothing. This will be quick. You're not gonna see it here. Actually, it's a game that I spent like so much of my budget on earlier in the year. It was the unannounced 3D Mario game. I was like, if the Switch can come out this year and launch with that, an easy 28 points. I hoped too greatly. I flew too close to the sun, and I had to eat like $35 or something of my budget on that game not ever coming out. So, and the worst part, no one bet a single dollar to get it. I just threw that money away.
That's the worst.
No,
That's
I
the
just
worst.
absolutely threw it away. Cayman, again, I don't know what you'll have to say for your team here,
Dude,
but passing it to you.
I got one. I have one game that delayed on me, and that was Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
That like just happened.
It literally just happened, which I
Yep.
replaced with Mario and Luigi Brothership. So honestly, it was an easy trade-off. But I do think that the game would have at least gotten me a solid 15 points. I think what the devs seem to have learned from the first game, based on like some of like the hands-on stuff people have had, it seems like this is like on the right path to be like a staple franchise for people who like medieval sims. And so, am I sad that we're not getting it this year? Yes, but it's okay because I got Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Ain't that right, brother? Kayla, what you got?
Chip.
Okay, so this could have also been my Save Me Daddy badge, but unfortunately it is not, because thanks for nothing, I'm not getting Little Nightmares 3 this year, but it's okay. I'm very excited to get it next year. Nobody come for me on that one. I do think that like it looks really good. I know we just got some footage at Gamescom for that, so I do think that's the only one, and I didn't realize I could drop it, so thanks for that. I'm gonna do that now. I think that's the only one. I don't think I dropped any other ones.
Did you see the trailer for the other game that's like a spinoff or whatever? That looks pretty cool.
Jerica actually sent that to me. What was it called?
The name is escaping me right now. I forget. But it's the people who made either one or two, like, because it's like a double studio situation, I think. So I think Reanimal.
That's it. Yeah.
Reanimal. Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks dope. That also looks dope. I'm excited for both, but thanks for nothing.
Before we kick it to Jerica to close us out, Danimac in the chat says, it brings up a great point, that we should have a thank you daddy badge. Jordan, if we could work on that, that'd be great. And then also says, I just picked up Dragon Age in my league. What league are you in, and can I join?
Yeah.
Please, because if I could have just picked up Dragon Age today, I would have been doing a lot better than I'm doing now. But Jerica, what is your thanks for nothing?
Definitely replaced.
Yeah.
I'm so bummed this game's not coming out this year, but it's absolutely fine. I actually tweeted about it. Like it's cool. I'm never mad when a game gets delayed, but I am
For
like
sure.
just disappointed for my fantasy league. Usually, that's the only reason. I'm just selfish like that. But I was really looking forward to playing this game. Like they had a new like extended look at it. It's like at least 12 minutes, and it just looks so cool. Like obviously the art style is right up my alley. Like pixelated, but updated graphics to like look sort of like cyberpunk esque. And the thing they're doing, like the continuous camera, like following your player around, looks so cool. Like I love that artsy shit so much, and it looks fun to play. So I can't wait.
I love that artsy shit so much, Jared.
I do.
Love
I
that
do.
artsy shit so much.
I love
It
it.
was the perfect that you said the two words 12 minutes, because that would have also been a thanks for nothing.
It would
game that
have.
came out.
I did not like that game.
I was like, oh, this
I
is
was
so cool.
disappointed.
I played like 10 minutes. I was like, what is this garbage? And just like turned it off.
Ugh.
We were all tricked with 12 minutes. That's for sure.
Mhm.
Who here, who of the other four of us has not, or has at least seen what the story ends up being?
Oh, I finished that game. It's
Look it
nuts.
up. It's like, I'm so glad I did not play that.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm glad. I think it was on Game Pass. I'm glad I played it on Game
Yes, that's how I played it too.
Um,
Thank God.
All right, we are entering the somewhat near the final stretch. We got 2 badges left. Next up is the Gimme That badge. Gimme That.
Gimme
That's what's a game on someone else's team that you really wish was on yours, whether you made a bid for it or not. We're just all being envious for this badge. Cayman, I'm curious, as someone who is so in the lead, is there a game that like you wish you had picked, or you're just like so happy with what you did?
Brother, I'm just here for the vibes right now.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
get it.
I'm letting you
I don't
guys-
blame you.
I'm just letting you guys fight for second.
Yeah. Just letting us let off some steam.
This
Oh
is the
my.
only time I've ever been successful in my life, and I don't know how to act appropriately.
Sure. I mean, hey, we take our W's where we get them. That's for sure.
Yep.
Well, in that case, Kayla, how about you? Is there what would you give your Gimme That badge to?
Well, I would like to eat my words on my counter pick, where I was like, there's no way that Hades 2 is coming out, which technically it's not. It's an early access. but-
Technically,
Sure, but
Patrick
it got the
fucks
reviews.
you all over by
And
saying
it-
the rules were something. They weren't.
But we'll go to court later about that. Maybe we
Sure,
can have
sure,
a whole
sure.
edit.
Hey, it's got the
dedicated episode.
reviews. What can I say? It's
Jarek-
got the reviews.
Jarek is my attorney and Cayman is Patrick's attorney. And then we
fuck.
go to war.
I'm so fucked.
And then
Yeah.
Jordan's the jury.
We're just gonna- We're
my
teaming
role?
up. We're teaming up just to tear down Patrick the whole time.
Yeah. I understand.
But honestly, I think that because it also looks great. And then the only other pick I would have said would be Lost Records, but that's not coming out this year either. So
Yeah.
kind of glad I didn't.
Oh,
pick
it looks
that one,
so
but
good
I
though.
would have
That
picked
new
that.
trailer we got at Gamescom. Oh, it looks so good. Give me that.
Give me that. That's why I say give me that. Give me
Yeah.
that next year.
Jordan.
So I got a couple of different options. If we're going on vibes, if we're going on just things that just look like just to complete in my queue zone, a game that's gonna be in my queue zone, it's gonna be Neva. I want it bad,
Okay.
real bad. She
Mm.
took it, so give me that.
Give me that.
But if we're
I-
talking games that I think are gonna probably score really well and give me more points, and that I want to play myself, it's gotta be Echoes of Wisdom.
Okay. Well,
And I also you want to tell what happened for that one, Patrick? You want to?
oh sure. Yeah. Oh, I really
Yeah.
fucked you good, didn't I? So in that
Daddy.
one, I think I had, for the sake of this story, let's say I had like $42. And Jordan, actually, no, I think I had 41 and you had $40 left or something like that. I had
Yeah.
one more dollar in my bank than you had in your bank. So I just threw it all out. Cause I was like, it seemed like, because I forget exactly when it happened. I feel like Jerica had maybe just filled her team out with Dragon Age and Astrobot, maybe. I forget exactly when it happened, but I was like, I feel like the only person that's actually going to try to outbid me for this is Jordan. And I just have to put it all down. And so I put all of it down. And Jordan, you bid something, but I don't think you bid all 40, did you?
I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
I bid like probably double digit, but I don't think it was the whole pot.
Yeah, you did a little double digi, but not the whole pot. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I really hope that pays off, because if I only get like 11 for that, I'm gonna look even more like a fool. But let's see. Jerica, what's up with you? What's your Gimme That?
Give me that.
I know in the future, if there's ever a game with the word Erd, ring,
Yeah.
tree, Eldon, I'm gonna pick it because I'm just a dummy when I don't. But I just never want to because I'm like, that's not like my game to pick because I've tried it. It's just not my personal taste. I don't like feeling pain that much. But by golly, I've learned my lesson. Never
Jerica, what if
never
I told
sleeping
you
on
that
that
you
again.
didn't have to use the Gimme That badge for Erdtree? What if I told you that Jordan made and probably forgot about an entirely different badge
I didn't forget.
called the should have drafted Erdtree badge?
Shut up.
Because really all of us should have drafted Erdtree.
I want that on a shirt.
All of us should have this badge. But you're the one that
Where
called it
did
out
this come
first.
from?
It's beautiful.
So we have no one to thank but Jordan for this.
Excellent.
And my wife tells me I have to shave my mustache off.
I know. It's
Look at that.
grow up, Sydney.
It
Wow.
accentuates the frown.
Grow up. But yeah, no, I mean, that is like the objective answer. All of us should have gotten Erdtree. But I will close this out with my answer, which is Dragon Age the Veilguard. Where's my thing? Here we go. Or no, I'm looking for Jerica's scene.
Oh yes.
I really
Jerica.
wanted. It's so funny. Like when we got that like re-reveal trailer, I was like, "Ugh," as so many people were.
I loved it. I loved
really?
the yeah, because like here's the thing. Big BioWare fan over here. Not a big
Mhm.
Dragon Age like fan
Okay.
girly, but I played them. I'm so excited for BioWare to take a new risk with something with an IP there, which is part of their DNA. And I think this is going to be the time to do that and get more people bought into what a BioWare game is.
Yeah.
I love the new style. Like I love the new stylized, like not cartoony, but definitely not a realistic look
Yeah.
like the previous games have.
No,
looked
me
like.
too. And I just feel like for me, like that first trailer we got with the new style, something about it just felt off to me. But then like 2 days later when we got the
Yeah.
actual full reveal, I was like, oh,
Okay.
this
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
amazing.
for sure.
Yeah.
Because I've talked about it on this show before. I don't know that I've talked about it with all of you though. Dragon Age Inquisition is like a top 6 game for me. Like I love that game so much. And so a follow-up to that with more
less of the junk.
less of the junk, more of the good. I'm so excited.
It's
for
got
the
yeah,
Veilguard.
that's the only thing we have to maybe have that on another episode. I'd love to get your opinion on or help me figure out why Inquisition just could not land with me. I like
sure.
where it was going, but I was like, I'd never beat it because
We can save it
much.
for a full conversation, but it took me 3 times to get past the first like 4 hours. But
okay, maybe
I understand.
I want to go back to it. I've tried to go back a few times, but I'm so excited for this game. It is the first game after Destiny this year I've asked off to play.
Ooh, nice.
Like took time off
Nice.
just for this game. Just because BioWare's back and I think they're gonna win. And I think they need a win. And I'm ready to see who I can bang. Okay.
I am. Oh,
See,
let's go.
not to spoil Jerica's forthcoming waifu episode.
Yep.
But I just have to assume that there is a Liara body pillow and a Morrigan body pillow somewhere.
All the BioWare body pillows for sure.
For it.
I've
Don't
set up
forget Jack.
upstairs. I don't want anyone to have to see that.
Yeah,
That's amazing. Well, speaking of that energy, our last badge is the DTF badge, down to 5. Now, as I said at the top, the DTF badge, we can kind of interpret it as we will. The official kind of ruling is a game that you can't wait to play, could be on your own team or someone else's, but extra respect if it's actually a cozy/farming game. Jordan's idea for the badge, what's a game that you're excited about to like farm something in? And it could be actual, hoe in earth farming, or it could be like I'm farming. No, not that kind of hoe. No.
Oh,
Who do you think I am? A naughty
in the
boy?
earth.
Brother, I know you're a naughty boy.
Stop it. Or farming for like resources, that kind of thing. So we can kind of take this however we see fit. So Jordan, I am going to put you on the spot to make the first choice.
Yeah.
To pick for you the
I'm ready
DTF
for
badge.
it. Don't worry. Yeah, if we're going the wanting to play it route, again, probably some sort of tie or at least close race between Echoes of Wisdom and Neva. If we're going actual farming, it's going to be an honorable mention to Fields of Mystria, which I picked up over the weekend and can't stop playing.
Nice.
I don't think any of us even knew about it because it's like it just released in early access earlier this month.
Could have got a review
And,
score.
Maybe. I haven't actually looked at if it did or not,
I'd be
but
curious.
I'm having a blast with that. And that's actual farming. And if we're going my other idea, which was resource farming, I'm going to give it to, where did it go? My mind just went blank again. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Ooh.
Not only is that game just a pure joy to play, I absolutely adore that game, but also it does, if you want to upgrade all these weapons, if you want to, get all these, unlock all the characters and stuff, it does require a little bit of resource farming, going back in there, replaying some of them story missions, replay them side quests. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, I know what you're saying, brother.
get in it.
I'm gonna go next if you'd let me, because the
Mm.
team is right here. Except I'm not gonna pick a game on my own team. And I just talked about the Veilguard, so I'm not gonna just say the same exact thing. I already talked about how excited I am for Astrobot, so I'm not gonna do that again. So instead, and I really don't want to, but I'm gonna pick a game on Cayman's team. I'm really excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Like this, I feel like this could be by a mile the best Assassin's Creed game. I'm not going to necessarily say it's going to be, but I think it could be. This, like, the dual protagonist structure, both of those characters feeling kind of very different from each other, the stealthy versus the tanky, and then just like the vibes just seem so cool. And so many of the different
Daddy.
Stop it. Tanky. So many of the different things that they showed off in that long gameplay trailer at the Ubisoft Forward over the summer of like, as I forget either of their names, but as the woman going like under the water and like as a Noe. Yeah, that's right.
It's Eves and Gimme.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's Ease Gimme.
Yeah.
Now going under the
Yasuke.
water. Thank you. Naue and Yasuke. So Naue going under the water and using like the bamboo stick to breathe. And then as Yasuke just like busting through walls. And they showed a thing on Twitter the other day of him doing the eagle dive, the faith jump, whatever they call it, where you jump into the leap of faith. Thank you.
It's a very common expression, Patrick.
You're right. That's on me. He jumps down for the leap of faith and just like busts open the entire cart of hay. Like
Are you serious?
Yes, and just like rolls out of it completely broken. So I like the vibe that they're going for, that they're still, it seems kind of leaning into like the goofy Assassin's Creed to a point, but still leaning into realism, leaning into like this cool setting in Japan. So I'm really excited for Shadows, and I hope that it can surprise us and be really fucking good.
BTTF.
Cayman, how about you?
All right. I am down to farm some Lego studs with Lego Horizon.
Yeah, give me them points.
I mean, like, why wouldn't I want to go get a platinum trophy for a Lego game and a Horizon game at the exact same time?
Right? I cannot wait.
This just already sounds like the perfect matchup for me. So this is one very excited. I don't think we have an actual release date. It's just holiday still. Is that right?
Not yet. Yeah, still holiday.
Well, either way, holidays are going to be a lot of fun in the Dumpster Boy household. Because we're going to be playing a lot of this. And let me just tell you right now, folks, if for those of you who haven't yet, on my list, got me 12 points. Cat Quest 3, perfect co-op game.
Let's go.
So perfect.
I'm telling you,
got a cat game on there. I love
Cat
that.
Quest 3 is fucking amazing.
Rare.
Is it farming adjacent?
Just play the fucking
cozy?
game,
Okay.
That's funny. Before I kick it over to you, Kayla, thanks Game Over Cholo for being here. He's got to drop off, but we appreciate you being here. Have a good night. Kayla, what do you DTF?
Let's see. I have plenty of options. So
Sure, I mean,
so if I had to pick one, I have two. Actually, we joke, but I only have two games that are like actual farming games on here. Okay. So you've got Fantastic Haven, but that's not my pick. I'll talk about my pick next. But Fantastic Haven is like a creature collector kind of like farming thing that actually looks kind of similar to Pokemon, and it looks really fun, and I can't wait. My actual pick for this that I think is going to actually review really well is Everhome.
Ooh.
Everhome is like it's gonna be like an RPG, kind of pixelated type game.
Ooh.
Yes, it has a projected points of 1.5, but don't look
Hype
at
factor
that.
0.1. Let's fucking go.
It's Kayla. She is the hype factor for this.
That is true.
Me.
That is
It's
true.
me.
I'm
But that's-
shocked that you don't have Kong Rise of Skull Island 2 on your list.
It's like a murder. It's like also like mystery, like cozy.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot to it. It's got portals. There's like all kinds of fun
We love
stuff.
a good
That's my
portal
pick.
here.
Can
We
I
love a good
quickly
portal.
pull the car over?
Yes,
What the
sir.
fuck is Rakugaki, Kayla? Well, what is
has
this?
One full hype point though, Patrick.
I've never heard of this, but it got you 6 points. What is this?
It's
I feel like I've scrolled past your team so many times today, and I never once saw RKGK/Rakugaki. I feel like it just popped up for me. Am I being
So
Nelson
I fe-
Mandela right now?
sometimes I summon my inner boomer and I
Okay.
see a game on Twitter and I'm like, oh, that game looks so good. Let me put it on my list. But this one actually looked really cool. I really like the art style. It's like a Japanese like style RPG. Like there's like skater dudes in it. And
Okay.
I don't know. Just
So
like,
this was your Mima pick. This Mima Kayla saw this on Twitter and thought it.
This looks like the kids will love to play this.
can we have a Meemaw badge?
Yes.
I think that this would get that
Yeah,
one.
let's
But-
keep for the next one. If we do the badge thing again, thank you, Daddy, and the Mima badge. Or someone remember those two.
My
please.
Meemaw would enjoy it.
Yeah,
'cause-
hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jerica, let's close it out with the final badge of the episode
With
for
me.
you, the DTF badge.
I'll say, Jordan, you missed an opportunity here with this badge with the B.
Thank you.
To put the
I thought I
the
heard
wheat.
something different for a second.
Yeah, have to be careful. Should have put is that wheat? That looks like wheat, right?
Yeah.
Put that should have made the fields like a butt crack and the wheat going into the crack.
Oh man.
That looks
Man,
really
you
cool.
fucked up, Jordan.
Next time, Jordan. That's for next time. Take notes.
If I'm even invited back after that fiasco,
Oh, that's true.
dropping the ball.
Yeah.
I Fumblerooski'd another badge. How's that?
Yeah.
Wasn't even an option.
I'm actually, I've talked a lot about Astrobot 2 and Dragon Age, obviously. So I do want to. I've been playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid 5. A lot of it because I never actually finished, and I am a self-proclaimed Kojima fan. And the only Metal Gear game I've actually ever finished is Metal Gear Solid 3. So I'm obviously really excited. Well, the other two, when the first two came out, I've looked up like what happens in the games, but they're just a little before my little baby brain could handle tough games. I played a lot of baby games at that
I'm
time, so
baby.
I did play one or two. But Snake Eater was my first one, and that was my first glimpse into what Kojima's brain can produce, and it was amazing. And I
It's
cannot
a
wait.
crazy brain.
I cannot wait for my girlfriend
Isn't she
to
lovely?
experience this game with me because it is such a good time
Hell
and
yeah.
it's fun. And I love Metal Gear Solid 5. I'm having a good time with it. I just don't know if I like it being like super open world.
Sure.
I didn't know if I was like ready for that. So I'm ready to go back to Snake Eater because it has literally been years. I feel like it's been 15 years. I have no idea. It's a long time.
Take her
I'm
back to
farm.
the swamp, brother.
I'm ready to
Let her
go
farm in the swamp.
Let's go.
sneak around and have my little gator head on.
Oh, come on.
You know,
I'm excited for that one because that's the only mainline Metal Gear played I have not played. Metal Gear game I have not played. So I'm
Oh.
excited. For some reason, I just never got around to that one, but I played all the others. So
Jerica,
I played
don't,
2, and then I played Twin Snakes, the remake on
Ooh, nice.
GameCube. Which
Jerica, don't feel bad if you didn't finish playing Metal Gear Solid 5 because
Yeah.
Kojima didn't finish the game either.
Okay. Okay.
that's true.
All right. Cool.
That is true. The story just ends.
F's in the chat.
Yeah.
I can chat.
In record timing, we are approaching the end of the show. Only an hour 13 with the
Wow.
5 of us together. So
I'll
ma-
take
this-
full responsibility for this because I didn't have anything to say this entire episode because I'm doing so well.
It's
You
true.
need a
Take him
moment
out
to
of the
brag.
studio already.
If you want a moment to brag, then please.
Just
Yeah,
to
full-
like stand up on my soapbox. I mean, I'll go ahead. I mean, I'm not gonna look. Here's the thing. tortoise in
Oh,
the
this is
hare
a
over
mistake.
here. The last thing that we need to happen is me get up and start bragging, and then fucking Patrick wins. Okay.
God,
That would be
nothing
so
would
funny.
make my life more than that. With the amount of shit talk that you've done for this league, if somehow you don't win. No, here's the thing. I firmly believe, Cayman. I'm talking to you, the audience. I think Jerica has a legit shot right now. Like she has so many big hitters on her
Ooh.
team with Flight
Let's
Sim,
go.
Astrobot, the Veilguard. If any of those other ones like surprise us and get like a big hit, then because the thing about Cayman's
Drivey.
team, as we mentioned earlier, no game has scored fewer than 12 points. So it's like in order to catch you, we need you to stumble at this point because all of us at least have one game that has not done well. So
Listen, my team's a zit ready to pop. Just needs a little bit of pressure.
yeah,
Of all the analogies you could have gone with.
That's what
Yeah.
came to my head first.
really visual, really
Of all the
visceral.
fields that are ready to plow.
I'm glad of all of the things that could pop. Zit was the first thing that came to your head.
True.
Yep.
True. With the tone of the rest of this episode, we could have got naughty, but we didn't. Aravi in the chat says, not gonna lie, this felt like 3 hours. I feel like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's not good.
I feel
That's
like
not
that
good.
is not a good review.
Damn.
But thanks. But hey, that's our
You were
show.
here the whole time, so
That wasn't a backhanded compliment. That was just a backhand.
But hey, thanks for being here for all 3 hours, Aravi. And for you, whether you're driving your car or maybe you're on your deathbed, I don't know your story. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Too dark. We'll go around the horn. Cayman, where can the folks find you? Plug whatever you want to plug.
Yeah, you guys can find me at the Dumpster Boy on Twitter. If you want to go back and listen to back catalog episodes of Save Trash Cinema, there's a shit ton of those. We had some conversations over the weekend about some ideas of what we're going to do when the show does relaunch. So we're kind of retooling it. It's going to be something a little bit different when it comes back, but there's a shit ton of episodes that exist where you can hear us get super raunchy.
It's true.
Because that show does quite often get sexual.
A lot of beer, a lot of tequila in those shows. That is
A lot,
Wanna
of,
go?
lot of wheat in the butt cracks, you know what I'm saying?
Nice. Wheat in the butt crack. Yippee-ki-yay.
Kayla, where can the folks at home follow you and the pod?
You can follow mine and Jerica's journey at JK Games Podcast, but you can also find me in the Bookish Realms at Palettes and Pages, wherever you want to go on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all those things.
Caleb,
Oh, yeah.
how far into Akatar are you currently?
I am beyond completed.
Have you made it to the Ice Barbarian series yet? Because that's what my
No.
wife's starting up.
No,
Oh.
no,
Palettes
I'm
and
not
Pages.
there. But it's on. I mean, I've seen it. So if that tells you anything, I've seen it, but I'm not there.
She has seen it. She has not read it.
Correct.
Jerica. How
I
you
missed
doing?
my desk just was not where I was, and I was like, at Jerkachew. That's not jerking at you, but like a jerk, but sounds like
Save me,
Pikachu.
Daddy.
I know. On everywhere you can see things that people post socially. I don't know.
Great.
That's the first thing that came to mind.
You heard it here first. Jerica on Truth Social. Jordan, how about you?
That's it.
Farmersonly.com.
With the wheat. Sorry. No, nope.
ETF.
I'm going to stop right there. Yeah, you can follow me at Cognitive Clips on all the social things. YouTube.com/@cognitive-clips for the video
Woo!
things.
Hell yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Patrick Schwag. And now I'm on Instagram at pschwussy because pschwag
Ooh,
has
watch
been
out.
taken from me. So watch out for
Wow.
that.
Whoa.
But if you want to follow the pod, that's Spot Games Pod on Twitter, and that is Spotlight Games Pod everywhere else. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, right here, and YouTube. We got new episodes every Tuesday night live, unless we're doing something special like we just did right now on a Wednesday. And then we'll be back next week as well with our stream of The Last of Us Part 2. We're making moves in that game, so we'll see you next week for that. But thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe here and at the JK Games Podcast and at Cognitive Clips. We thank you. We love you. Until next time, save me, Daddy.
Bye.